I just attacked a whole bunch of big preppers there, which kind of illustrates my point. Wow! It's another beautiful day in Ottawa. Kitty's off doing yoga, so she'll be back by 11:30. So I'm doing dog sitting duties. We're not leaving him on his own at all, and it's kind of indulgent of us, but he's really old and he's got a gimpy hip. But enough about us. What's the point of you watching this video? What's the point of you investing your time watching this video? Well, I'm just planning out my afternoon activities. When Wolfie goes into daycare, we plan to do some Gatineau Park hikes, me and Kitty. Obviously with a little dog, it's not with a gimpy leg, it's not going to be very good for him. So that's what we're going to do. So Secret Stuff's been online, doing a bit of a walk with a lightweight pack. I think at one point it was £28, which isn't a lot. That's just about 11 litres of water. It's not a huge amount to put in a pack, including the pack's weight.
Okay, I got a weight up. Looks like 28.
And he's also been saying that people online that he sees out there walking are out there walking, and he's congratulating them for doing so.
So I loaded my pack right up. In my last video, I'd mentioned that Piney Prepper was the only prepper walking, and that's not true. I ran into a couple more. I forgot all about Modern Refugee. Sorry about that, man. Forgot all about you. If you haven't had a chance, check out Modern Refugee. Apparently he was out on a 6-mile hike enduring the flies like crazy. There's another guy, I hope I say this right, Apocalyptic Ben 3311.
But it raised an interesting point for me. I've told him repeatedly that I don't video my training. I think it's kind of daft, to be honest with you. It's kind of boring. He is doing this so he can do a head talk, a pontification where he talks about things and informs us, the viewers, whilst he's walking.
Implant your brain with good addictions. I don't get it. But he's going to make our recession harder when he improves those student loans. And he's just not doing everything right.
But I think it's kind of an interesting method of doing it, and I want to explain why. First off, his series of videos when he started them actually gave me some inspiration to actually do this stuff, to actually do a little bit more than I had been doing. I thought it was a great idea and I liked it. But what I'm noticing is errors in what he's doing and how he's doing it, and he's not correcting them, and I've mentioned them a few times to him, not all of them, but he's not learning from his viewers, and that's, I think, is a critical issue, not just for Secret Stuff, but for a whole bunch of preppers out there, including me at times. It's hard when you have a fixed opinion to listen to somebody who says, no, that's not true, and this is why. It's hard to actually understand, hear, and actually adapt and adopt different practices from what your biases tell you to do. But I'm going to give it a go for Secret Stuff, because I think he actually has a lot of the problems that a lot of us have, including myself. First off, what's the point? He says it's to lose weight. Okay, if you're trying to lose weight, definitely incorporate hills, definitely alter the pacing. Go short, go long, go medium. Variety, mix it up. If you also want to lose weight, as soon as you finished a long walk, a long activity, eat carbohydrates. A can of Coke is perfect for this if you can stomach it. I can't no longer. Or a bagel with cheese. Something. When you finished a long duration, intense activity, however fat you are, immediately finished, have carbohydrate. Have a banana, have a bagel. Immediately fueling after you stop exercising tells the body to keep burning. If you don't do that, what happens is the body says, oh, I've just burned a lot of calories and you're not eating anything. I'm going to go into starvation mode. And that's why a lot of people actually don't lose weight despite really aggressive dieting and exercising. It's because their bodies are smarter than they are. Give a little bit of food in, burn. He of course will correct me, but I do think his secondary motivation is to actually get physically fit to bug out. Now this is where there's a whole bunch of failings happening, in my opinion. He may disagree, you may disagree. We talk, we discuss, we adapt. We evolve. He's using camouflage.
Okay, I got my chest rig on. I carry my gloves underneath.
He's using a backpack that is camouflaged and canvas. Looks like it's fake military, or maybe in fact is a military surplus item. Those things are useless to you. They're very, very heavy. They get wet very easily and become very, very damp. One of the things you might want to do is also think about, if I walk down my high street right now wearing a full combat load like that, will people notice me, or will I just merge into the distance? You may have one time dreamt of or actually had physical combat experience. If you did, I thank you for your service. If you're a truck driver or a cook, get over yourself. Fighting is an entirely different set of skills from bugging out in an SHTF.
It's a good way to also conceal carry, because Hill People gear has a zipper in the back where you can carry your firearm.
To use combat methods and combat equipment has some place, I agree, but the majority of people, in fact I would say almost everybody, would be far better served getting ultralight hiking gear. The reason for this? It's weatherproof, it's very light, so you can add more weight into the pack rather than having to carry the pack's weight around. They tend to be very resistant to ripping, they tend to be very well made, and they also tend to be pretty expensive. But if you honestly believe that you need to bug out to survive, you need to have a bag that's going to work. You also need a bag that doesn't scream, shoot me, I might have stuff on me. The other point, and it's an incredibly important point, is where are you bugging out to? In his videos, he seems to be walking around a track.
Chest rigging, and I was like, you have to understand, brain, with good addictions, he's just not doing everything right. In his intros, he does cartwheels, staying in the wind.
Or extremely flat piece of land. Now, if you know that you are walking flat from A to B, right? You need to practice on flats. Now, I would also argue throw some hills in. But Huples, what do I do? What do I do if my country's flat? Well, you could move, or you could use your brain. You could, of course, use anything that includes vertical climb and vertical descent. You still can't figure it out? Well, come on. There's no car parks near you. There's no buildings near you. Even if it's a 3-story building, go up and down, up and down, up and down the stairwell. If you're on transit, use the stairs, not the escalator or the lifts. Plenty of places you can go to practice going up and down hills without actually encountering a hill. But this is a general tip, and I think he might be doing this, and if he isn't, I apologise. If you're using a track to practice on, a 400 yard or a 400 meter track, and you're going round and round the track, reverse direction on a frequent and regular basis. In other words, go clockwise and anti-clockwise the same frequency, because if you don't, you will notice that one leg will get actually more tired and stronger than the other leg. It's incremental, but it's a definite effect. This is the same effect you get with camber on roads. If it's safe to do so, and it should be, because you should be planning where you train, you need to actually walk on both sides of the road, into and with traffic. It's got to have safety first here, absolutely. If it's all possible, what you want to do is walk in the central meridian of the road, so the actual slope of the road, which is designed that way to let water run off, isn't causing your leg to actually not fall down as far as the other leg, because that again will cause imbalance. It's okay for short duration, and if you mix it around, it's okay, it tends to balance itself out. But he says he can't find people online who are walking with packs. I mean, I don't know what his problem is, but I've been doing that for years, and there's plenty of my videos out there where I'm walking with packs. What I'm not doing is walking once a week or 3 times a week with my pack on, for no reason other than to talk to you about something I think I know about more than you do. Because let's face it, talking head videos are pretty boring. I believe Prepper Nurse 1 actually used this for a little while. I stopped watching Prepper Nurse 1 a long time ago, along with Canadian Prepper and City Prepper and the whole bunch, because they weren't offering me anything of value, and the occasional snippet of value I was getting was from the comment sections, not from the video. I just attacked a whole bunch of big preppers there, which kind of illustrates my point. You absolutely have to fight against personal arrogance. Just because 500 or 1,000 or 3,000 or 10,000 or 200,000 or 500,000 people have subscribed to you, just because you get 500,000 views on a video you did, doesn't make you an expert, does not make you an expert of SHTF. There are no experts in SHTF. We don't know when, how or what SHTF will be. We can figure out some basic premises, and we can share basic ideas and tips. We can also look at specific scenarios and have really good discussions on them, and maybe they will help people prep, maybe they will help people survive. None of us know. So if you're judging a prepping channel by a criteria as simple as, do they walk around a track with a pack on, do they show themselves bugging out at least once a week, I think you're kind of missing the point. What you're doing is what you enjoy doing and you like and it works for you. You then have gone out and found other people who do the same or similar thing, and that makes you feel part of this collective of special preppers who have special insight and special abilities online. Whereas in fact that's completely random and not true at all. And I'll give you an example of this. There's a new sport now called cross-country swimming and hiking, where you actually have a specific type of inflatable raft and a waterproof huge bag that is a backpack, and you go for a walk, and when you encounter rivers or lakes, you with a wetsuit on swim across and then walk again. And it's something I'd be really interested in doing, but would it make me a specialist in doing that? No, it wouldn't. It's just something I've encountered, something I might want to try once or twice. It doesn't make me great at it. But say I was doing this for a week or 2 or 3 months or so or a year or 2, and then I went online at prepping channels to say, is anybody else out there doing what I'm doing? And finding no or 1 or 2, and then saying these channels are great because they're doing what I'm doing. You've got to be very careful. You've got to be very careful about that. For example, criticism is very easy to do. For example, I criticised the amount of weight he had in his pack, and I would completely argue that 28 pounds weight is very, very insignificant in terms of what you would actually carry if you were actually bugging out. So the weight alone is kind of a bit of a fix, a bit of a dodge.
So I loaded my pack right up.
So what? You're out there doing activity, and that's the important thing. Whatever it is, whether it's on a bike or whether you're walking on a track with a small pack on, whatever you're doing, by exercising and eating right, you're going to help your mental and physical abilities to deal with whatever life throws at you. And I know some people are disabled. I know people have issues. My little dog is having serious right hip pain. In fact, he's hopping on 3 legs at times. So he's on gabapentin and he's had some injections, and we're going to get it x-rayed and see what we can do. Most likely due to being obese. Though technically he's in the overweight category and he has actually fractionally lost weight. But it's the overall pattern you have to look at, not just a good result. But when he's out, we walk him on the grass, we carry him to grass, we're very careful with him. But he doesn't care, he will push himself. He will push himself to the point of re-injury unless we're very careful with him. And you'll do the same. People do that. I started running, I really got serious sciatic pain from my lower lumbar back, a whole bunch of issues went wrong there, but I still walked. I haven't stopped running, I've just suspended the activity for the time being. And the reason I'm sharing this is because people online tend to be very dogmatic. It tends to be black and white, grey. It doesn't exist. You know, there's no shades of grey here, right? When you actually name 2 specific channels that are good because they are hiking, like you are hiking, but you ignore a long-term subscriber, you immediately cause that long-term subscriber to get angry, to get infuriated, to get annoyed, because we've considered, because the lens and the camera and the mechanism makes me feel that you know me and I know you. And the truth is, you have no clue who I am. You have no clue what I am, and I have no clue what secret is either. But what I'm trying to say here is that you need to be very cautious about what you watch online. And if you're producing content online like I do and Secret Stuff does, you have to be very conscientious and careful about becoming an arrogant worm. I absolutely am no specialist in anything at all other than nursing. And I would argue blindly, at least for the next few years, my skills in nursing are at expert level. Nothing else is. Having watched Secret Stuff's videos on hiking, bugging out, I can tell you he's no expert on that. He's no expert on hiking, he's no expert on exercise endurance activities, because you can tell by how he moves, what he's doing, no variation of pace, not really hydrating significantly. Quite a few of his videos he's actually got sweat obviously already there before he even starts the activity. He appears to be, and again this is an assumption, I'm sure you'll correct me, he appears to be driving to the track.
Alright, in my last video, I'd mentioned that Piney Prepper was the only prepper walking, and that's not true. Okay, I'm not sure what the wind's going to sound like, guys, so...
To do the exercise, which is insane. Go for a walk from your own house, save the gasoline. It's actually better to do that. Now there are reasons why people will drive to tracks and stuff like that, and certainly as a runner, I never did that. I would always run wherever I was going. But the point is, if you incorporate the activity, whatever it is in your day-to-day existence, you're going to be better. Rather than getting a camouflage backpack and a chest rig on and going around a track, well, you get a decent backpack, go for a walk, go to the grocery store, get some groceries, and come home again. Do you know me and Kitty have been doing that for over a decade now? Yes, we occasionally do drive to the store, and we do occasionally use the car for that. But if we do, it's because we're taking the dog for a walk or we need to go somewhere else. But generally, we walk to the store, and Kitty will often cycle to the store. We haven't videoed that because why on earth would we? Each individual needs to understand 3 things. They've been born to enjoy life. They're going to die, absolutely certainly. And what they are doing today affects people around them and will affect their future selves. Don't get stuck in a rut. Don't just do one type of training. Like, come on, get off that track Secret Stuff. Get some hill climbing in. Walk without the backpack. Mix the pace up a little bit. Give it a try. Don't go for the same distance, the same time, or the same effort every time. Mix it around. Read up a few books on ultramarathoning. Read up on ultra hiking. Have a look. How do the professionals do it? How do people in the Olympics train reasonably in ways that means they can go 26.2 miles very, very quickly? Now, I don't think I'm ever going to go into 3 hours for a marathon again, but I've done it, and I'll tell you how you do it. It becomes a very sensibly focused thing. Your entire life's interconnected. Every time you eat, every time you exercise, every time you go to work, every time you use stairs and don't use stairs, everything is connected to that one goal, which is to shave seconds off your kilometre an hour pace. So if you're truly training to actually bug out, where are you bugging out from? Where are you bugging out to? What's the terrain likely to be? What's the weather likely to be? What weight are you likely to be carrying? And then train in that variety of answers, because there shouldn't just be a answer here. There should be multiple answers. You don't just go from A to B. You're going to go to A to C to D to B. Okay? You may not be able to go A to B. And with that variety, figure out how to do that type of specific training in ways that you like, in ways that you enjoy. And bear in mind, it takes 6 weeks to get used to doing anything, so tough it through for 8 weeks and see what happens. Don't get stuck into this fantasy. You can put a chest rig on and a backpack, combined weight of about 32 pounds, which is about 15 kilograms, and that's enough to bug out and survive. It is not. It really is totally inadequate for a bug out. Now, for get home may well be actually too much weight. So again, where are you going? Why are you going there? What are the circumstances? Don't just look at people online who are doing a specific task in a repetitive way and being authoritative, being a white male, older male, and swallow their guff. Have a critical think about what they're saying. Now I'm going to edit this because the whole point of this video is not to attack secret stuff. There's multiple examples of people like him online, and I have done the same thing about certain topics. The whole point of this is to make you have a bit of a cold think. Have a good look at what exercise you do every week over the next month and think about, why am I doing that exercise? What am I getting out of it? And is it repetitive? Am I mixing stuff around? If I'm doing weight training, am I doing it differently? Am I using different muscles, or is it always the same muscles, always in the same way? Even if I start with legs and then go to arms and sometimes go from arms to legs, what am I exercising? Why am I exercising it? And how is it going to affect me? Now, I have to get ready because Kitty's going to come home and she will expect a coffee rightly when she arrives home. I'm going to head north at the Rideau River system and I'm going to see if I can get to the Prime Minister of Canada's home, his official residence. Now, I think that's our boy JT's house. Very sophisticated, eh? Just kind of dawned on me that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. Oh well, there's the police. And then I'm going to try and swing west and see if I can get to the Rideau Centre to buy some shaving cream whilst I'm in civilization, so I can use it in the Shire, because cleanliness is next to godliness. Thanks for watching this video. I really wasn't sure I wanted to make this video. I do have a lot of respect for secret stuff. It has inspired me to do more activity than I normally would do. Job done there, sir, thank you. But I am a little concerned about what you are portraying and how you're portraying it, and I don't think comment sections really work for this kind of thing. So I thought I'd give you a video. It is a bit of a shout out. He has a lot of great content. If you are watching this and you're not subscribed, go over there, have a look at it. But remember, whoever you watch online, watch them critically. And that includes me. Don't just watch stuff because Huples Cat has uploaded this video today. I will watch his video entirely. Not really. Shit. So the earthquake's done, I've survived, the house has collapsed. This is my work bag, my go bag. It's under the table I'm at. It's over there, it's buried. I have water. This will extend my life by 2 to 4 days. I have a bunch of other stuff in here. It's a typical go bag. I'm not going to go through it all because I'll blow the hell out of you. But one of the things for an earthquake zone is shoes. These should be under your bed. These are lightweight shoes. They have metal in the toe caps. This could come in very, very handy. Now you may be a Huples Cat groupie, in which case great, thank you very much. You don't have to watch my videos. You should only watch stuff that you find of benefit. You should be very discerning about what you are getting from media. Make sure you get a variety of media on a variety of topics. Don't just get focused totally on one type of media from one type of source. It really isn't good for your brain. Doodles. This has been a 2022 Little Terrier in a Car production.